it's a massive step on. It's happened so quickly. It seemed as though it was more like 30 years we've been talking about this, and now we're having to get ready. We're having to choose the colour of the carpets. We're going to have to choose the colour of the blinds, you know, within weeks. And as I mentioned earlier, we have to move in July 2013, which is only a year and a half away. It's really very, very dramatic how quickly it's happening.
Your core business is education.
Absolutely.
So how is this going to improve and augment the education of your children?
This is going to make such a difference to children's lives because it's not designed around a 1950s ethos of education. 1950s ethos of education was children being taught, teachers leading lessons in a square box, 30 children in the square box. When they finish, they go out and they stand in the cold. This is entirely different because it looks at different learning methods and methodologies. It's very student-centred. Moreover, it allows for the development of other skills. For example, there are areas where students are encouraged and they are not forced, but they are put in a situation where socialisation has to happen. So, for example, they can't just queue up at lunch. They're expected to sit around certain places, outside, inside tables, to have their hot chocolate, have their lunch, but to socialise at the same time. The actual design is built around the development of skills that matter, skills that go beyond the traditional English, maths, science.
Do you think, you know, often I've just turned 50 and I go into schools and I'm still probably thinking, where do I not should see the English department and the maths department in line? But what you're saying is that education, in many ways, has become much more sophisticated. Education
is sophisticated. It's much more student-centred now, and by that we're meaning that the students can actually control an awful lot. Take a look at, for example, literacy skills. Each of our students gets a Kindle. We have an e-library so they can recharge their Kindles. If they finished reading their book, they can actually get on the computer and recharge the book and get the next one on Sunday afternoon. It's different, and we have to get them used to the new world that they'll be living in, which will be more akin to what we're developing here than existed previously.
And just to the left of you, there's designs, and it's got the word student engagement. So what exactly was the student engagement in respect to these designs?
They've had quite a bit of engagement. What they have done is worked a lot on the outside learning areas. There are quite a few outside learning areas. We asked them to look at science. When they looked at science, we talked about the science topics that could be taught by going out onto a terrace, and they talked about astronomy, they talked about animal care, they considered things like weather stations, and they designed those outside learning areas. And for science, there's an awful lot that can happen outside. So we have got a discrete terrace for science, 2 floors up, which gives it a lot of security, but it means that the children have got that flexibility. If they want to put their weather station out, they know that when they come back on Monday morning, it's going to still be there.
And the spade goes in the ground when?
March 2012, which is, I think, in about 3 months' time.